Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Brockopp side. Rambo Last Blood was directed by Adrian Grunberg, and when somebody very close to Rambo gets kidnapped by a bunch of very bad dudes, Rambo kicks back into action, gets off the farm, and murders a bunch of bad guys in glorious R-rated fashion. So when it comes to Sylvester Stallone, I'm not like some hardcore Rambo fan. I'm more of a Rocky guy myself, as you could probably see here, but I still enjoy myself some Rambo because, well, I enjoy some good old R-rated graphic violence, and this movie definitely delivers on that. This is a very gruesome and bloody movie, because Rambo likes to kill people in very creative ways, whether he's using his hands or really big knives or setting up traps a la Home Alone. It's just really satisfying to see Sylvester Stallone kill a bunch of bad people that, really deserve to die. I mean, you look at the bad guys in this movie, it's like, yeah, these are some really terrible dudes, and somebody's gonna do something about it, so, yeah, these guys really needed somebody like John Rambo to step up and take them down. So the action is a little bit slow throughout the movie, there's some kills and stuff throughout it, but then when it gets to that final battle at the end of the movie, the kills just go cranked up right to 11 in many creative and gruesome ways that it's just really satisfying to watch. People in the theater were just cheering every time Rambo killed a guy, and I'm sure you've probably heard like a million people say this movie's like a violent R-rated version of Home Alone, which in a lot of ways, yeah, it is. I mean, Rambo sets up all these various traps at a house the bad guys come to, and they of course succumb to said traps, so yeah, it kind of is like a Home Alone movie in that way, but I think it works really cool to see Rambo set up all these traps and have these guys, get blown up or get their legs chopped off or get spikes right through the chest. So a bunch of really cool gory kills are nice and all, but the movie still suffers from quite a few issues. There are some characters introduced in this movie that don't really amount to a whole lot, like this one journalist character that helps Rambo out a little bit, but then he comes back to her later saying he needs her help, but then really she doesn't do anything, so it's kind of like that character really just isn't fully realized. And the fact this movie is also about only like 90 minutes long, so it's a very short movie, so it's easy to digest, but the problem comes that it feels like it should be a bit longer because everything just feels kinda rushed, like everything just kinda happens a little bit sooner than it should be, like Rambo kicking into gear, not too much time after a certain event happens towards the end of the movie, he kicks right back into getting ready to fight back the bad guys. It just feels like it could be fleshed out a little bit more, like it's missing a few scenes here and there that kind of, help transition things better and just improve the flow of the movie a lot more. But if I'm being completely honest, my biggest problem with the movie is that Rambo has no red bandana at all in the entire movie. It's kind of a staple of the character, but I guess when you approach the character from this point in his life where he's not, on the run looking for a place to settle down and everything, it kind of feels like he doesn't really need to. I mean, he doesn't have the long hair either, so I guess there's no real need for the headband if you don't have hair that needs to be slick back and all, but still, it just would have been cool to see him at least wear the headband at least once in the movie. But really, when it comes down to it, people aren't coming into the 5th Rambo movie expecting eloquent storytelling and proper characterization. They just want to see Sylvester Stallone with some guns and some big knives kill a bunch of bad guys, and that's exactly what you get in this movie, and that's definitely the greatest thing about it. There are a lot of issues with the movie, like the pacing, the storytelling, and things like that, which, on most films, that'd be a major problem, and there are some movies this year that have those exact same issues. But for a movie like this, I'm willing to let that slide because I just enjoyed what I wanted to get out of this movie, which is Sylvester Stallone doing cool, masculine 80s action star things, and yeah, I think it was satisfying in that regard. This movie really is just for Rambo fans. I mean, really, I don't think any random person that's never seen a Rambo movie is gonna come into this movie and enjoy it, because first of all, why the hell are you getting on the Rambo train in movie 5? So basically, if you're a fan of the Rambo franchise and you just want to see some cool action, congratulations, that's what you're gonna get. So all in all, Rambo Last Blood may not be the most well-constructed movie ever made, but if you come for the violence, then you'll be good. So, those are my thoughts on Rambo Last Blood. If you guys have seen this movie or if you've checked out the other Rambo films, or if you're wondering now that Sylvester Stallone keeps coming back to his most popular characters when we're finally gonna get a sequel to Demolition Man, let me know that down below, and we'll see you on the Brockopp side.